we are going to see whether these Hellions can do anything, because they are blue flame Hellions that's upgraded. Yeah, they have upgraded damage versus light, and they do a lot of damage AoE. And if you can get them in the mineral lines, you can do a lot of damage with them, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. So they snipe a lot of SCVs here, plus a mule. Mule is well worth quite a lot of gold, and at this moment, yeah, they should be moved, but I guess the focus lies here now. So counterattack from our red player and sniping off the planetary fortress and most of the SCVs that were there. In the meantime, I'm not sure what happened to these Hellions, but they're over here now. And they are going to attempt to snipe another base, while we see the red army falling back here. And yeah, it's kind of hard to see, at least for me, on the minimap, where everyone is, because this blue isn't really highly visible. Unfortunately, I either don't know or it is impossible to switch colors to a color that I would actually like. And I would like to have something like red and yellow, because that way yellow shows up on the minimap quite nicely. It is easy to spot, and we see some Marines running into this base. Not going to get a whole lot done, because this base was already mined out, so there were no SCVs, and I think it's more as a scout. Oh, leaving one Marine there. What? Yeah, he eventually gets taken out, but one of the SCVs got lost, and yeah, there's not a whole lot of damage done, but still, it's kind of sloppy. So, yeah, large, actually huge army here for our red player, but it's mostly Marines and Marauders, meaning that they take a lot of splash damage from these tanks, and yeah, sieged tanks will actually be able to do a lot of damage to that before it comes actually into range. And you saw there how the army instantly melts when it comes in range. So there are a few spotters out. These SCVs are here just to spot this army coming in, and he had some air units as well just to make sure he can see this army coming in. So yeah, it provides some extra range to the tanks if you have things spotting the enemies. So outside of your own range, you actually get more range, because your actual vision range isn't as large as your shoot range on tanks. And that means well, lots of scans going off here, making sure that they can spot the enemy armies moving around, because they don't want to be caught off guard here. A watchtower being crucial in this. Make up your mind already. Yeah, both of them don't want to get caught in the wrong position, and yeah, that's why they are moving backwards and forwards, because there is a ramp over here, or an entrance over here and an entrance over here. This entrance is of course bigger. There are two entrances to the same region, but yeah, if you're defending over here and the opponent is coming in on this side, then you are, although you have a great defense, you have your defense at the wrong position. And yeah, we see the Hellions coming in and actually sniping off some of the reinforcements. And there you go, finally going in, deciding to that this is the time to go in. And the tanks sieging too late, but they are still going to do massive amounts of damage. And there is no way that this red player is going to get out of this alive. Yeah, the tanks beautifully positioned behind each other so that the Marines and Marauders couldn't really reach them. Once they sniped the first few, they couldn't really reach. And not every, yeah, if you place them in an arc, so yeah, facing your enemy. So if the tanks would have been like this, the splash damage from the tanks themselves would have taken out way more tanks. So this turned out to be very good in for our blue player. All of the tanks full health, so he doesn't even need to repair them. And more units are now coming in. But yeah, compared to the army he just defeated, this is a really just a small amount. And let's take a look at the income. So the income for the red player still bigger because he expanded once again to this position. Has a lot of mules out, and our blue player went here with his mules. And yeah, I think overall the income is pretty much the same. Both of them have 2 mining bases. It's just that yeah, their bases almost are almost mined out. And our red player is now coming in to snipe this base, trying to get this base. And oh yeah, the army is coming in now, and the planetary fortress is going to hold. There is nothing to snipe these medevacts though. So this sensor tower actually nicely positioned to spot the army, because in the last fight he had the problem that he didn't have an eye on the army all the time, so he didn't know where the army would come in. And by positioning a sensor tower right here, he can spot all of this ground. You can see it on the minimap, there's a circle here. He can spot all of this, and he can see where the enemy army is going. So even when he sieges up somewhere, he can still see where the enemy army goes. And it even covers this side, so even if there's an army coming from for this fort base, it will do very well. So the red player did see this this orbital command flying to that position, so he will probably go for that right now. And there is a spotter out here. He is building a supply depot, and I'm pretty sure that was just to spot things. And yeah, it gets taken out obviously by this army. Kind of easy to do. And yeah, as you can see, because he spotted that, the tanks are going to be in position just in time to make sure that he can snipe all of this. So there are some ravens out now, and I'm pretty sure they're there for the point defense drone, because point defense drone versus marauders works very well. And while sniping this planetary fortress, that is going to be a big deal, because there are only 2 mining bases, and he's going to snipe this command center as well, because it provides mules and it provides an easy command center to substitute the one he just took down. And now all of the production facilities are going to go down. And this is probably the end for our blue player. Even if he holds this off, he has no way to replenish his army. So unless he can do a very, very good counterattack, there is no way he can win this. I mean, there are no production facilities. So he's going to be stuck with this army, and as I said, he has 1 counterattack now to make this work. He can snipe off these 2 bases, which are, well, this one isn't really mining anymore. This is the only mining base currently. So if he can snipe that, then he still has a chance. But yeah, he's going to have to spend some time on rebuilding this base, maybe rebuilding a base here to get the extra gas, but probably not. And yeah, he has to protect this base, so that's why he's choosing this attack direction. The enemy army cannot get past him, because, well, then they get sniped. And he is going to... oh, red has no SCVs left, really? No, there are SCVs, he just only has 1 mining base, but he forgot to replenish his army. He didn't have enough money to replenish his army, and yeah, I was totally wrong there. I was assuming he had more of an opportunity to replenish his army, because he still had all of these production facilities. And yeah, it's not so much that he has no SCVs, because he has enough SCVs. He has 29 SCVs. He just doesn't have anywhere to put them, because there are SCVs over here that, yeah, this base is virtually mined out. There are SCVs here mining some gas. So the SCVs weren't the problem. The problem was that he just didn't have enough income. He should have gone for an extra expansion, although this one would have been really risky. And blue player just coming out on top there because he had, well, a better economy in the end. But yeah, this game should have really gone to the red player. I don't really understand. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. I will see you next time. GG.